Hello, everybody. So, first of all, excuse that I'm looking like a hot mess today. It's been a long, super hot day down here in North Carolina, and it's been incredibly frustrating because the healthcare situation in North Carolina, and for that matter, pretty much down south and in these super red states, is horrible, to say the least. But that's going to be another video for another day. I wanted to talk a little bit about today about affirmative action and the Supreme Court obviously passing a decision getting rid of affirmative action in higher education. And obviously, that's going to come to other avenues as well. Now, this is a very controversial theme or topic, and I can see both sides, and you can argue both sides of this topic. But I think for me, um, after doing a lot of work in racial equity, racial justice, um, racial trauma, I think it's about time that they got rid of affirmative action. Affirmative action in the beginning, it did help a lot of us minorities. I I can't count myself in it, but I'm a minority as well, so I can relate. But it did help some people in the beginning, obviously because it forced the very overtly racist systems to create a diverse setting of employment, schooling, and bettering access. But it also encouraged white privilege, and in a way that is not positive because it gave them ammunition not only to feel like, you see, we keep helping you minorities, we keep throwing the life vest, and you guys just can't cut it. That's the underlying message about affirmative action. That's actually the way it wound up working. Um, and it's what's continued to do. It has been, the damage has been way more than the positive aspects of affirmative action. Because again, it gave people that had racial biases an excuse and ammunition to say, well, that person is in that position because somebody needed to check a list or somebody needed to check a policy point in and get credit for that. And it took away all credit from your resume, your experience, your qualifications. I was very not sad, but I was very impressed when I not even impressed. I guess disappointed would be the better word when I heard President Obama say that it was a terrible idea to get rid of affirmative action, because I would think as a former president he would be somebody that would definitely had witnessed how many times people probably questioned his qualifications and made the assumption that he got there because of affirmative action, because it was a handout, because we had to pick you. There's no way he didn't experience that. Or, I don't know, maybe he was so self absorbed. Same thing with Justice Ketanji Brown, and how she asserted her opinion on it, because it honestly pulls minorities down. It creates a short term solution, but it encourages a bigger problem. That entitlement and that idea that they are throwing us a life vest and us as minorities can't even make it, not even with help. And I can't even count the many times that I've heard it, seen it. I mean, there's been even legal precedents. There's been people that have established lawsuits against institutions because they felt they were victims of affirmative action. There's one particular case of a young lady in a very famous university, and she actually sued the university because she felt that there were, I believe it was like three students that were selected, and I want to say it was UCLA. I'm not quite sure, but she sued saying that she was a victim of affirmative action, and this false sense of reverse racism, which not a thing. And the court actually heard the case, and they wound up finding out that the three people that were chosen, even without affirmative action, would have gotten their spots. Actually, there was 10 people that would have been ahead of hers because her academics were not up to par. But in her mind, she was totally divorced from those facts, and those people got in because it was a hand me down, because affirmative action exists and they were not qualified. And it was, they were able to prove in court that that wasn't the case. But if we do keep things like affirmative action, that's what it's going to keep on doing. It will actually give ammunition to white privilege and the systemic racism to pretty much endure, because they will always look at it as, well, we gave you the opportunity. They are never going to look at it as, well, yeah, affirmative action created some access, but you have the qualifications. You are equipped to fill this position. So, I don't know. That's my humble take on it. And you are more than welcome to comment, like, subscribe. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll be talking.